Good morning, A to Z Sports, Nashville. It's Easton Freeze. It's JT Runke. It is a third string Thursday on a Friday. Hope everyone is having a great start to the end of your work week. It's a great day to enjoy a Friday. It is a great day to be here with us on the morning show because we have got some Titans game talk.
Finally talking about the Titans.
Yeah,
the game.
Like the football team that's going to play the football game. That's right. We're going to talk about...
We heard you.
We are delivering. The people spoke. They said, let's talk about this terrible team. So we said, all right, we'll do it. We will talk about them for one day. It's one night only here on the A to Z Sports Morning Show. Yeah, the Titans are playing the Texans. Old Davy Mills is coming to town this weekend. And we are going to talk about how the Titans might actually have a chance to get in the win column or the cover column or the don't get embarrassed column this weekend. There's a number of injury things that are going to factor into that. There's a number of, I think, little betting tidbits that we're going to sprinkle in there. And then we're going to talk about the rest of the Titans season as we finish up the bye week, which is kind of a moment for retrospection as we look back at the Titans' start to the season and spin it forward to the rest of the season. We're going to talk about what we are expecting from the rest of the year in terms of wins, because this became a pretty hot topic of debate amongst the Titans media corps on Wednesday. I was viciously attacked by the entire media room for saying something so outlandish.
I think that's an accurate statement. I was going to say that might be going too far. No, viciously attacked is how I would have described it.
Well, yeah, you know what? It ruined my day. I'll say it. These people who I thought were my friends ruined my day, and now I hate all of them. No, but we are going to talk about something that I did get jumped for saying on Wednesday, and we're going to debate whether or not it is more likely for the Titans to win no games the rest of the year, or dare I say 3 games the rest of the year. If you were here on Monday with Austin and I, we kind of broached that topic, and we're spinning it back around towards this game, because this game may very well be the first of their wins down the stretch. We'll have to see. We'll talk about how that might happen and more. A lot to get to this morning, JT. But before we do, good morning, and tell the folks what they need to do.
Yeah, what's up, Easton? What's up, A to Z crew? Good to see all of you guys here this morning on a Friday morning. Good news Friday. Gonna have some good news towards the end of the show. Good news for some of you. It sounds like we're talking about the actual Titans today. Maybe it's some bad news, because as soon as I said that, right? As soon as I said that this Titans team, we're going to talk about them, Terrence comes in the comments and says, why are we doing that? Nobody wants to hear about this trash team.
Well, what else are we supposed to talk about, Terrence?
Thank you for being here, Terrence. We appreciate you here. Rooney also says, water taxi tickets, ? Yes,
Indeed.
We will be doing that again with a similar structure to yesterday's show, so stay tuned for that one. Couple more things you guys need to do real quick before we get started. First of all, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you like the show. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button as well. Goes a long way for us, and so you don't miss any of the content we are bringing you here on the A to Z Sports YouTube channel. Get those likes up, lock in, like the show on a Friday morning. If you're watching on Facebook as well, do the same thing. Like the show, make sure you're liking the page, and also share the show with a friend. I just meandered over to the Facebook page yesterday. 43 shares yesterday. Good job, guys. You guys are doing your part over there with sharing the show. So do it again today. Share the show. Share it with a Titans fan who wants to talk about this upcoming game this week. And with that, Easton, I think we're ready to get going.
All right, let's get it started. Welcome into A to Z Sports live on a Friday morning, powered by BTA Sports. Every weekday morning, we are live here at 8:10 Central Time, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links tweeted out segment by segment on our Twitter feed at AtoZSports, so follow us there. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well for more Titans coverage. And follow us on Google with the link that JT is going to now send in the chat. It's a thing you can do, following us on Google. It's extremely helpful if you are able to do that for us. We got to thank our sponsors for making the show happen and helping out you all at home. Wilson County Hyundai. Make Wilson County Hyundai a part of your new car buying process in Lebanon or at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine, boneandjointtn.org. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs, local and online at bartondrury.com. Botero Carts, life is short, so buy a golf cart with 2 locations to serve you in Columbia and Gallatin, boterocarts.com. And Window Nation, take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale through November, 50% off of all window styles. You can get 0% financing for 5 years with our friends at Window Nation. And as whoever it was in the chat mentioned a moment ago, we are also sponsored by the Nashville Water Taxi this week, as we will continue to do that giveaway. More on that here in a moment, but if you are interested in getting a couple of free tickets on the Nashville Water Taxi and free parking, a $70 value, this weekend, stick around because you could be the lucky winner. JT, let's talk about the injury report that both of these teams had yesterday. Of course, since it is Friday, my face kind of... Orlando pointing out the overexposure and decency. I don't know why my camera, I'm not overexposed back here, but now I'm too far away. You know what? You're just going to get,
you're the one getting raptured today.
That's right. Rapture for somebody every show. Yeah, white balance it. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Is this white? Let's see. Maybe I'm not white enough. Oh, no, there's no fixing it. All right. We have the injury report graphic we can throw up there. Is that right? Okay, let's do that. It's a Friday, so in a couple of hours we will get a final injury report from both teams, of course. But this is what we got yesterday, and we got a couple of guys on the Texans just straight up ruled out. I don't actually know why this happened. I don't know why the Texans have a Thursday head coach presser, but apparently they do. And D'Amico Ryans came out and straight up said that 3 of their starters will be out, including Kaimi Fairbairn, kicker. Who was the other one? Was it Petrie that he ruled out? I'm about to go find it. It was Fairbairn, it was CJ Stroud, and somebody else on the defense who I'm now
I want to say Petrie.
I'm going to find it. It is safety Jalen Petrie. So those 3 guys, and Petrie has a concussion alongside CJ Stroud. So both of those guys, that's just a matter of if you have a concussion and you're in protocol and you don't practice on a Thursday, I'm not sure it's actually possible for you. Yeah, I'm not sure it's ever happened that a guy's not practiced on a Thursday in concussion protocol and then come back. So that was the writing on the wall, confirmed by D'Amico Ryans. That will be Davis Mills in Tennessee for the 3rd week now. He didn't quite get the start in the first week, but he did play the majority of the game because CJ Stroud was knocked out pretty early. So he has played a couple of games now, and saw this on Twitter yesterday for reference. Is Davis Mills a backup? Yes. But I would argue is one of the best backups in the league. I think that he's kind of the ideal backup. And small sample size, because it's only been less than 2 games for him. 25.5 points per game and 237 passing yards for old Davy Mills the past 2 weeks. Whereas CJ Stroud in the first, what would that be, 7 games of the year, 18.1 points per game, 215 passing yards. So that's not to say that Davis Mills is the better quarterback by any means. The point is he is playing productive football in CJ Stroud's stead, and he was a big part of the comeback win over the Jaguars last week. In fact, Davis Mills, JT, last week, I believe, I heard this on the internet, so don't fact check me. I think he was quarterback 1 in PPR fantasy last week. Because of all of those garbage time touchdowns that he threw.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, you can definitely pad your stats when you score 26 points against the Jaguars in the 4th quarter, for sure. Right. So how much you want to put into those stats is fair, but I do think you are right that Davis Mills is not some sort of, when we say, as the title says, we put the Titans put Texans on upset alert with big injury swings. It's not just because CJ Stroud is out, right? Davis Mills is not, arguably this season, we've seen a lot of backups play better than the starting quarterbacks around the league so far this season. Davis Mills has looked...
This is your Mac Jones propaganda. I know where you're going with this.
Well, I was going to say Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett. Davis Mills now is getting that offense a little bit better.
What you're trying to say is get Brandon Allen in there. I want to see something.
maybe we'll approach that topic at a different time. But
I hope not.
The point that I'm trying to make here is that Davis Mills is not the full reason why the Titans are putting the Texans on upset alert. It could be a part of the reason, right? Because I think last year, it was either last year or the year before, right? Davis Mills, I believe, came to Nissan Stadium and beat the Titans here, or was it at?
Yeah,
I believe it was here.
Yes. Yes.
Davis Mills and the lowly Texans at that point came to Tennessee and came to town and beat the Titans. So it's not something to, throw away here with Davis Mills. He is someone you need to take seriously this week because he does have that arm strength. He does have the ability to sling the ball, like you said, the 200 plus passing yards over the last 2 games or so. Crazy things.
Who's talking down Mills? We're sitting here saying he's one of the best backups in the league. And talking about how he's been better than CJ Stroud the past 2 weeks. What are we talking about? He's not talking down Davis Mills. Talking up Davis Mills.
Exactly. So it's not the reason why we're saying it's an upset alert, but you look at the rest of the injury report here as we go back to it, right? Kaimi Fairbairn not playing is a big thing. I'm sure they have a kicker that they will be starting in his stead. Jalen Petrie certainly does.
That's a bold prediction on your part that they won't just go into the game without a kicker.
The Giants have done it before. So
that's a good point. But I like you sticking your neck out on that one. I predict they will get another kicker to play in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is. I'm not keeping up too much with the Texans and what they're doing with their kicking game this time around. But Jalen Petrie also, I think, a pretty big deal for this team. And then you look at on the Titans side, getting Arden Key back for 2 days in practice. You're getting Calvin Ridley back limited for 2 days in practice. Jeffrey Simmons finally came back to practice this yesterday. We'll see what
CJ Ravenel came back. I mean,
yes.
Come on.
Jeffrey Simmons, I think, is the big one here, though, that we need to discuss. Bottom line, obviously, Calvin Ridley and Arden Key getting back is helpful, but if they can get all 3 back, that's where the real upset alert begins to come into play. Because I would argue that you look at the last game the Titans played against the Chargers, and you look and say if they had a Jeffrey Simmons and an Arden Key and a Calvin Ridley, they probably end up winning that game against the Chargers. And so getting those guys back healthy with, as you put, going a little bit into the conversation on Wednesday, with some ascending rookies who are getting the game in their bodies, feeling the game a lot better, ascending to, at least a middle of the road type of NFL player, not maybe to their full potential, but getting up there into an average NFL player. Getting those 3 guys back is huge against this Houston Texans team, which looked miserable against the Jaguars last week for 3 quarters and then shocked the world and turned it on in the 4th quarter. This is a team that...
Exactly what they do to the Titans, by the way. Is that just their thing? That they just take the first 3 quarters off? If the Titans are still in the game, or God forbid, winning the game, come the beginning of the 4th quarter, I will still believe that they're going to lose by 30 until it doesn't happen. Because it's what happened the first time. And they got, what was it? Was it like 6-0? I think it was 6-0 Texans winning going into the 4th quarter when the Titans and Texans played first time around in Houston. And then it ended up being, 26-0 in the end, I believe. So that could happen again, apparently, because they just did it last week.
Yeah, I do remember in that game at halftime saying, I think the Titans have a 50-50 shot to win this game. And then it went all downhill there.
They broke one run and then just the floodgates
exactly
wide open.
And that's the big thing, right? This team, as we saw against the Chargers, looked like they were playing a lot more of a complete game. You have the Texans coming off of I would say a fluky win still in that game to come back.
Emotional win, sure.
An emotional win coming into this game now is certainly could be a letdown spot for them. And you have the Titans coming off a bye, a well-rested team that's gotten an extra week to self-assess, to come back, to reset. That can do a lot for your team, especially if you get guys like Arden Key, Calvin Ridley, and Jeffrey Simmons back. We can talk about the merits of each of those and what the impact is, because I think some of them are more important than the others for this team. But I do think that that's where the real upset alert lies.
Agreed. Let's talk more about this in a second. Duran says, when is YouTube going to fix these names? Yeah, I agree. You know what? I'm calling out YouTube. A lot of folks are calling out YouTube right now for YouTube TV and ESPN. Not me. I'm calling them out for their StreamYard username glitch. This needs to end. I'm sick and tired of it. Another comment that I starred, MB says...
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the Facebook ones are back.
Yeah, they are. It's just YouTube. So... YouTube calling you out. MB says, who in their right mind is cheering for the Titans to win anyways? Well, a fantastic question. Let's dig on that a little bit. JT, let's go ahead and send our first question in the chat to get them involved officially. Which do you want after this weekend? A Titans victory Monday over the Texans, or holding on to the number 1 draft pick? Because you can't, well, I guess, technically you cannot have both. Even if everything goes your way, the Saints are still on bye. So even if all the other teams won, the Saints would still be the number 1 seed if everyone won. Point is, you got to pick or choose what you're rooting for this weekend. And frankly, it's kind of what we're going to do every single week from here on out until, I guess maybe the Titans could win their way out of contention a little bit if they put a couple of wins together, but that hasn't happened since 2022. So we'll talk about that when it comes. While you guys are answering that question, again, which would you rather have this weekend? Titans victory Monday over the Texans, or quarterback, or holding on to the number 1 draft pick? I'm going to tell you about our friends over at Barton Drury Insurance Group. They are your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs here in the Nashville area. Austin and Zach used them for A to Z's insurance needs last year and felt great about the service they got. The options and the plans, the diversity of options that they had was stellar. The responsiveness from the team, the experience that service team had, they clearly knew what they were doing. The level of expertise was top notch. It is a one-stop shop for both your personal and business insurance needs. With over 40 years serving Tennesseans, they sell employee benefits, 401k planning, life insurance, workers' comp, liability, auto, property, umbrella, and surety bonds. They are local. They strive to provide excellent service, but also they want to take the time to make sure everyone understands their insurance policies. So check them out, bartondrury.com, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs.
Yeah, also shout out our friends over at BTA Sports, BTA, better for betters. 2 codes that you can use when you download the app. First of all, use code ATOZSports when you download the BTA Sports app to get a 14-day free trial before the annual 12-month subscription of just $79.99. That gets you the rest of this season. It gets you the beginning of next season, including all of the different features that they will grandfather you into when you get the app. It's a great deal using the 12-month annual subscription there. That is, once again, ATOZ Sports. Or if you want to do the weekly pass, if you want to try it out just for a little bit, you can use ATOZ 14 when you download the app to get a 14-day free trial before a weekly subscription of $9.99. Where insight meets instinct, BTA Sports.
All right, let's go to the chat. JT, I'll send you to the chat. What are people voting for? What are they rooting for this weekend? A win or the number 1 pick retained by the Titans?
Well, yeah, it doesn't look very close in the chat here. Although Vanessa does say I am rooting for the Titans to win. Cap says holding the number 1 pick. Andre says the fans who want meaningless feel-good wins that do nothing for the team, LOL. Darren says he's rooting for the draft pick. Only answer is the draft pick. Eric says he just wants both teams to have fun and play hard, which I think is a nice heartfelt message there. Steven says holding the first pick. Tall Texan says Titans win, horrible draft, so position doesn't matter, which I think is crazy. IR Hoshi, a win would be nice. Sure. Curtis says, I don't care. Development is all that matters at this point. Titan says, hold on to that. Titans Kyle says, hold on to that pick. Just want the offense to look better. Deborah wants a victory Monday. Kendall says he wants a win. B-Bird says, I get holding on to the number 1 pick, but for Cam's sake, some wins would be nice. Vanessa says, why do you want number 1? We don't need a quarterback. I think a lot of fans do want the opportunity to trade back, though.
Other teams need quarterbacks.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Curtis says they need a win. Corey says a loss is a win. Harold's rooting for a Titans win. Jason R says Cam Ward desperately needs a win. Guy wants the number 1 pick. Nero says, I want to win even though we need that pick. Cristoforo says he's torn, but if he had to choose, he's holding on to the number 1 draft pick. A win on Sunday would feel great in the moment. Beat the Texans and lose the head-to-head with the Saints. Easy. Titans fan says, win, of course. I'm a Titans fan. We lost enough last season. Joshua says, get some wins and see Cam improve. Number 1 pick, winning at the end of the season never really carries over, especially with a new staff coming in. But I do think so. I want to stop on that one real quick. If I can bring it back up. At some point, you would like Cam Ward to experience winning. And like
another bold take from JT's on fire this morning.
I mean, with the way the comments are, can you really blame me? But
no, I hear you.
I think, I mean, I understand where people are coming from with the sentiment of hold on to that number 1 pick. The losses don't matter. The wins don't matter this year. The losses don't matter this year. It matters to the players. Once again, it is always going to matter so much more to the players than it is to the fans. And that's the disconnect that I feel like it's been 3 years now. We've been saying the same thing when we get to this point in the season, right? It is the team does not care that you want them to lose. They want to win no matter what. And so I push back against this idea that winning, feeling the excitement and the, I guess, relief of winning a game, especially against a division opponent, a division rival, probably would feel good for the development of Chimere Dike, would feel good for the development of Elikayo Manor, Kevin Winston. Cedric Gray would probably want to get a win. Like a lot of these young guys, at some point, you need to learn how to win a game if you want this team to ever get better. And I think you have a big opportunity this week to do that. And I understand that a lot of people wants the draft pick. But I think we're going to get to this a little bit later in the show. This is only one of the numerous different stops we may have at on the rest of the season for the Titans to ruin their draft picks. And this is going to be like draft pick standing, I guess. So it's going to be really interesting as we go down the stretch here, as this team looks to be maybe on a slight incremental ascend, are they going to rip off 8 wins in a row? No, but like maybe they're going to climb a baby hill in terms of improvement here and get up there. And I think winning in a rookie year is so much more important than learning how to win down the stretch. I think because Andre says the young guys have plenty of time to win. No, like the NFL, life is short in the NFL. How it goes.
No,
we're looking at a new staff and 70% roster turnover. The wins now won't positively affect next year's team. Yes, it will, because that's how you build the beginning of a culture. That's how you build a locker room that when new players come in, you're able to more establish that easier.
Your team cannot learn how to win if they've never won. Yes. So you either start now or you start later. And this idea that you have plenty of time to win. Let's think just a couple of games into the future here. Okay, so they don't win the rest of the year. And then next year, they get a new coach. And the vibes are like repaired, at least over the offseason in some form or fashion.
The honeymoon phase is coming.
Right, there's optimism. Oh, this guy can do no wrong. And then they continue to if they lose the rest of this year, they're probably going to continue to do some losing. If they lose the first month of the year next year, Rutrow, you're already in Cam stinks, give up, time over. Like people will start giving up on all of these young guys if they just keep losing. So you say they have all this time. They really have like well, 8 more games this year, and like the next dozen games, if they don't do some winning in the next dozen games, things are going to get ugly quickly. So it's got to happen. What would you say? So what do you think the comments? If we didn't run a YouTube poll because Austin's not here, what do you think the comments came down on split wise answering this question?
I would say
Because it felt kind of 50-50 when you read it.
I mean, as we've gone through, maybe the lose and tank for the pick crowd is maybe a little bit louder.
Okay.
I'd probably give them the edge of like a 65-35, to be honest.
Okay.
I kind of stopped there because there were some questions or some comments that I think were worth talking about, but there were more lose.
Okay.
As we
Simply
are going
lose.
down.
I got it.
So
right.
I think 65-35 is where I'd put it.
Then it sounds like your answer is win. Am I right? Or no?
This week, yeah. I'm listen. I came on the show right after the trade deadline and said, because we had the conversation of, with not trading Jeffrey Simmons, you already are getting a trade back built in with having this high pick and these teams who need quarterbacks behind you. And since then, the Jets have won, the Saints have won. You had the Dolphins have won. If the Titans here, I think, have a real chance to win a couple more games and ruin that built-in trade package or so. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Tankathon update here.
If they win this weekend, they drop to at worst 6.
Yes. So
somewhere between 2 and 6. If everyone that plays wins as well, they would be 2 behind the Saints, who have a bye this week. But who did we went through this? The Giants play the Packers. The Browns play the Ravens.
The Vegas plays Dallas.
Yeah, and then who did the Jets play?
The Jets lost last night.
Oh, they just lost. That's right.
Yes.
So just kidding. You'd be between 3 and 6 because you'd be behind New Orleans and New York. Yeah. So Giants, Browns, Raiders. Those 3 teams play some relatively stiff competition, depending on what you think of the Cowboys, I suppose. But Packers, Ravens, Cowboys are, not gimmies for any of these terrible teams. I mean, nobody's a gimme for these terrible teams. The Titans, I don't know. Of those 4 teams, Titans, Giants, Browns, Raiders, I'm sure Vegas probably has a little bit differently. But to me, I think Tennessee might have the best chance at winning this weekend of those 4 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have to go check the lines, but I
Vegas, Dallas is probably, I'm sure that's a closer line just because Dallas is kind of, uncertain. But
the grander point here is that I think a lot of people are expecting the Titans to have a top 3 pick. And I'm here to say that this team wants to win, is ascending. And with games like this, where we can get into the analytics and the betting of it all, going back 2 decades, when you have a divisional home dog here with a total usually below 42, the total of this game is 37.5. So
yeah.
It is a very low total home dog of more than 5 points.
Well, it must be a bad weather game, right? It's going to be 70 degrees on Sunday.
It's going to be 70 degrees.
It's going to be perfect.
By the way,
got it.
You should enter, if you're going to the game, enter the water taxi, which we're going to do here in a second.
That's right.
Because it is going to be beautiful. That screams upset alert. That screams.
It screams a cover. I mean, from a betting perspective, when you
cover.
When you have something near a touchdown spread in a game under 40 points total, it's just like sharp betting 101. You take the points just because if the idea is few points are going to be scored in this game, it is hard for the favorite to score enough points to distance themselves from the underdog, right? That's just logic. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
If you're going to cover a big spread, you have to score a lot more points. That's how it goes. So, and I'm not saying that the Titans are like some lock to cover or to win this weekend. This is kind of a classic, especially in a divisional game, as you pointed out, a classic trap spot. And the Titans could they've not won 2 games in a row in a couple of years, but they could cover 2 games in a row. So, who knows? My answer I'm sitting here kind of floundering what my answer is because my approach this early in it kind of changes down once we have kind of the final 3 games is where I start to really do the math on like wins and losses and draft positioning. this far out, man, it's like there's so much football left to play, and it doesn't behoove anybody for this team to just lose out the rest of the way. I kind of want to just do this and see how it goes, and then look up and see where the draft order is at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to win. So I guess my answer is I'd like them to win, because I think it is deeply important. And I also kind of think that if they don't win now, they'll win at some point later. Like, I'm not sure that a loss this week does anything more than just delay the inevitable winning your way out of the pick. Because we're going to talk about that here in a minute with our second question. I think they're going to win their way out of the pick. And so why not? Do it now. Do it at home. First home win in over a year, right? The last time they won at home was against the Patriots last year in overtime. So that'd be a nice thing for the crowd of, all 12,000 people that are going to be in attendance this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can still win and land the top pick. There's a lot of time to go, but we're going to get to it here in just 10 minutes looking at that schedule. And if you beat the Texans this week with that assumption and you look at the rest of that schedule, you might say, oh, this schedule looks a little bit different. And so, yeah, it's going to be really interesting here. I think also we know how much Jimmy says here, Amy wants a W. I mean, you look at last year when the Titans went to the Texans and beat them, the message coming out of the locker room was, we did it for Amy. Here, and that was...
You mean Amy's in the locker room with bottles of champagne,
Yeah.
Her team's won 2 games. She's going nuts, yeah.
It's fair to say that with Jeffrey Simmons back and with some of these players, you may have the same type of thing this weekend, that this is always going to be a more emotional game, regardless of the records. And I think that also plays a factor. I think this team coming off the bye, knowing that, also plays a factor. And so I think you really look at the injury report and you look at all of it and you say, and we can maybe touch on these, I think getting Jeffrey Simmons and Arden Key to an extent back is so important this week. If you get those 2 guys back against this Houston Texans offensive line, which hasn't been as terrible as we thought it may have been to begin the season, but still, it is on the same level of where I think the Chargers offensive line was before Joe Alt went down. And then kind of the floodgates open because you lose a stud left tackle there. It is
gettable.
Yes, it is very gettable if Jeffrey Simmons is back. You finally get the tandem of Devondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons back, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Which you didn't have the first time. Arden Key, who apparently November and December are his months. This was
news to me, but he said, y'all know these are my months right here.
These are his months. These are his 2 favorite months.
Get after it.
We'll see if that translates to the field.
Do you think he just loves the holidays? He was just like, I love it's my favorite time of year, absent football. Yeah.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, J.C. Latham did not play the last time the Titans played the Texans. It was still Oli Udoh out there
fighting for
going
his
up
life
against Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. I think that is a bump up. I think this offensive line has been playing relatively better the past couple of weeks. So that is different from where it was against correct me if I'm wrong, I think Kevin Zeitler also did not play that game. I think they were rolling Blake Hance and Oli Udoh out there in week 4.
That sounds right.
Or Kevin Zeitler may have went down in that game.
Yeah.
Either way, the right side of your line was totally missing in that game. So that is a big thing. Here's the one I'll throw in here, and I'm interested. I know this isn't one of our questions, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. Calvin Ridley coming back is really a nothing burger to me at this point.
Oh.
I think if he does something in the game, great. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, well, that's expected. At this point.
You expect no impact.
I mean, at this point, things
20 yards. I mean,
things have looked pretty similar with him on the field or off the field. I mean, Chimere Dike is ascended. Hopefully, we start to see after continuing to hound the Titans this week about Gunnar Helm. We see him more involved. Chigakonkwo always seems to get after the Texans for some weird reason. Like this is
true. That's a great point,
game
actually.
that Chigakonkwo gets up for. Tyjae Spears is back. Alec Aymanor, we heard from Mike McCoy in whatever his answer was, but he's kind of hit a rookie wall. He's working through it. These are the types of things that, adding Calvin Ridley back, does that really impact any of that? I don't know. At this point, I'm not quite sure. So I'm interested to hear you, but I expect more of an impact if Arden Key and Jeffrey Simmons are backed more than if Calvin Ridley's back.
Interesting. I'll share my thoughts on that in a moment. But first, let me tell you about a pair of our sponsors. I want to tell you about the Nashville Water Taxi and our giveaway here in just a minute. So if you're interested in that, stick around. But first, our friends over at Botero Carts deserve some love this morning as well. If you want to buy a golf cart and you're in the Nashville area, really anywhere in Middle Tennessee, then Botero has you covered. Life is short. Buy a golf cart with our friends at Botero Carts, a locally owned and operated full-service sales and rental dealership with 2 locations to serve you in Columbia, Tennessee, and in Gallatin, Tennessee. 0% financing for 36 months. Their carts start at just under $6,800. They're open every day of the week. No dealer fee, no credit card fees, no credit needed option, even if you're looking for something along those lines. So there's no excuse not to head over to Botero Carts in Columbia or in Gallatin. Check them out today. Tell them AtoZSports sent you, because life is short and you should buy a golf cart. JT, the Nashville Water Taxi, this is the week of the Nashville Water Taxi because they are doing a giveaway with us. They are giving away a couple of pairs of tickets.
We gave away 2 yesterday, and we're giving away another one today on the show.
This is our third. We did some the day before as well. So the point is, this is a $70 value, I believe. You can ride the taxi whether or not you win the giveaway here, for the record. It's really not all that expensive. $20 round trip after you park, 15-minute taxi ride, home games all season, each and every Titans game if you're looking for a parking option. And let's be honest, parking for anything downtown can be tricky. It can be nerve-wracking. It can feel like a big waste of money depending on where you're staying. It is not a waste of money or difficult with our friends, the Nashville Water Taxi. You park, you hop on the boat. It's BYOB, so if you want to bring a drink to enjoy your cruise down the beautiful Cumberland River, okay, maybe the river's not that beautiful, but the scenery around the river is pretty beautiful, then you can do that. And it is, like it says here on the graphic, just a 15-minute taxi ride. We have 2 free tickets, not just for the boat ride, but also for parking. So, again, $70 value for you and a friend to go to the game this weekend, or if you have no interest in going to the game, not a big deal. You can just head on down to downtown, head to Broadway, head to wherever you want to in the city. Again, parking for free, riding the taxi to and from for free, and enjoy, as we pointed out, a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend day. It is supposed to be sunny and 70. It does not get better than that in November in Nashville. So if you want in on this giveaway, all you must do is comment Water Taxi. That's all you have to do. And
Water Taxi. And I'm going to look at the chat.
Really, the bar here is being able to spell Water Taxi. If you can't spell Water Taxi, you can't enter. But if you can,
there is also another requirement. If you are out of state, do not type Water Cali.
Well, unless you plan on driving down for it.
Sure.
I mean,
okay.
If you want to come to the city for it, go for it.
Yes.
But basically, don't submit unless you're planning on being in Nashville this weekend. How about that?
Yes. Don't submit unless you are ready to face the consequences of your own actions.
That's right.
So
comment Water Taxi between now and the end of the show, and we'll do a giveaway. And even if there's 2 of you that comment, guess what? You got a 50-50 chance.
50-50 chance.
That's as good an odds in a giveaway as you're ever going to get in life.
Exactly.
So you asked me which returning Titan is going to make a bigger impact. I would say I do think the defenders will probably be a bigger impact. 1, because there's 2 of them, but 2, because, as you pointed out, this is a gettable Texans offensive line. I am really looking forward to the force multiplication of Simmons and Sweat together. And then Arden Key, if these are his months, then I'm curious to see what that looks like. He's got some shoes to fill, and Draymond Jones, who's no longer here, there's going to be opportunity for him to get out there, no doubt about it. But Jeff Simmons is the one that sounds on social media like he's going to be back this week and like he is juiced up and ready to go. Media talked to him in the locker room yesterday. He seems prepared to get back out there and get back after what was shaping up to be a real defensive player of the year resume on the season. He's going to see if he can't make up some ground on that and get back into the conversation here down the stretch. And the way that he was playing at the beginning of the year, that wouldn't surprise me one bit if he continues to just pour it on, especially with T'Vondre Sweat out there helping him and some gettable offensive lines. I don't think Calvin's going to be a nothing burger if he's actually good. Now, if he's getting back out there, but he's doing the whole, I'm still 30 years old and I still have a hamstring issue and it's just not going to.
Right, that's my point. I'm expecting nothing from him.
Right. Okay, so if your expectation is based on the fact that you don't think he's actually going to be going to get good, then get good, like physically get back to health, then fine. But I kind of think he wouldn't come back if he wasn't feeling good. So I'm gonna lean on the I believe you side of things until he proves otherwise, I guess. And if he can run and he's back to, because he's been out 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, nearing a month.
Nearing a month. Yes.
So I don't know. I think it'd be helpful. I still think he's the best receiver on this team when he's healthy. I don't think that's
fair.
changed even a little bit. So I don't know. Let's just see. Let's talk about the debate from Wednesday in the media room.
Okay.
Which is leading us to revisit a conversation from Monday here on the show. Good old Terry McCormick, Main Street Sports, Main Street Media, brought up this question as we were all kind of just dilly-dallying in the media room on Wednesday. Said, how many more games does this team win down the stretch? Gun to your head. What do we think? And I said, I don't know, 3, which is what I said on the morning show on Monday. And the entire media room essentially was like, moron. That was their response. And they all said, are you crazy? This team is going to win 0 games the rest of the year, which, I get it. You know what I mean? Okay, fine. And while I think that 3 more wins, 4 wins total, is on the aggressive side, no doubt. Number one, it's largely born of my belief that they don't deserve the number 1 pick again, and they'll find a way to luck/unluck their way out of they'll just find a way to not get the pick. They'll screw it up somehow. It's also born of the fact that I think they have a lot of young players on this team who are going to continue to just get competent enough to win some games against some teams that are bad down the stretch. I've watched enough football. I've watched enough NFL seasons to know how this goes, not just for the Titans, but for any team that's in their shoes. How many times in weeks 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, every year do we see teams that have been completely written off, who we think are dumpsters, win some weird games? It's the NFL. That's part of the beauty of it. And I went through this morning, JT, with what little time I had before the show and started doing the research on this, which I will do a more comprehensive job of later today in an article. But I went and was going through how each team that ever started 1-8, which the Titans have, ended up finishing the year. And I got through 11 teams before I ran out of time, but I'm going to do more research on this. I also want to include teams that started 0-9, like teams that were even worse. Because the Titans, let's be honest, spiritually, they're kind of 0-9 right now. You know what I mean? That one is doing some heavy lifting.
They are one Amari DiMarcado away from being 0-9.
That's right. Or one interception, fumble, touchdown away from being 0-9. So I will look into all of that and go further than this. But these are the 1-8 starters, the teams that started 1-8, the last 11 instances. And I looked at how they finished. The only team that started 1-8 since 2013 is how far I got back to not win another game the rest of the year is the 2020 Jacksonville Jaguars, who famously won their opener and then did not win the rest of the year. The rest of the teams won at least another game, okay? And I'll talk through how many more they won in a minute, but I don't want to ruin the question. Let's go ahead and ask the question. Which is more likely? Because this is kind of what it boiled down to in this debate. Which is more likely? The Titans win 0 more games or 3 more games? Again, we're kind of talking about the extremes here, but I'm curious where people have kind of settled on this team. What's more likely? No more wins or 3 more wins in the Titans' final 8 games? And while you all are answering that question, I will tell you about our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Check them out at boneandjointtn.org. They have been a longtime sponsor here on the show. We appreciate them because they are located right off of the interstate here in Middle Tennessee and Franklin area. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust, and that's the building that we trust with any of our injury needs, the Bone and Joint Institute, right off the interstate for any type of injury. They help you with their state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus. Your recovery is handled top to bottom. They do it all in that. Tip to tail is the saying that I was looking for. They handle everything that you possibly need in that one building. They're not sending you running around town to referrals and different clinics and different testing. No. Their clinic, their testing, their imaging, their surgery, their rehab, it's all in that one building. So schedule an appointment today for whatever injury you need help getting through at boneandjointtn.org.
Yeah, also shout out our friends over at BTA Sports, BTA Better for Betters. Use that code AtoZSports when you sign up using the link in the show description or right below the title on Facebook to turn that 7-day free trial into a 14-day free trial and $79.99 for the entire rest of the season and going into next season. So the last 8 games of this season, the playoffs, and then also the first 10-ish weeks of next season. That's how you get the most bang for your buck there. Or if you want to do the weekly, you can use that ATOZ 14 to turn that 3-day free trial into a 14-day free trial. BTA used analytic-backed insights to make smarter bets and help you beat the books. BTA is better for bettors. And then also, once again, still doing the water taxi promo here. If you guys didn't know, if you're late, if whatever, you may have missed it. If you type water taxi into the chat here, you will be entered into a giveaway to earn a free pair of water taxi tickets for this weekend against the Texans. That includes the parking, that includes the round trip fare to the stadium and back. If you're not even going to the game and just want to go downtown when it is going to be beautiful, close to 70-degree weather in the middle of November, want to go down to Broadway and don't want to pay the Broadway parking prices, might as well go down to their grounds, park, tailgate with some Titans friends and fans. That's right. Take the water taxi up to Broadway. Instead of taking a left to go to the stadium, you take a right across the pedestrian bridge, go over to Broadway, have a good time, and then when that game is over, head on back to your car via the water taxi. Once again, make sure you enter via typing water taxi in the chat, and we'll be giving those away at the end of the show today.
I know Joshua and Katie are hoping nobody says water taxi because we got one more. It's now a 3-way competition for those tickets. The odds of winning are pretty dramatic. So if you want to win a giveaway ever in your life, now's the time. Type water taxi in there to get entered into that, and we'll spin the wheel at the end of the show. All right, JT, I'll send you the chat. We asked the question, what's more likely, the Titans win 3 more games or no more games? What are the people saying?
Yeah, I also wanted to be like Austin, and so I started a poll late, albeit, but we will...
This is a good one for a poll. I like it.
Vanessa asks, how long are they good? They're for this week. The water taxi...
This weekend.
It's this weekend. So if you're going to the game this weekend
Sunday,
or want to go downtown this Sunday to hang out on Broadway, do whatever, that's what they are good for this week. And we may be doing more down the stretch. We'll see.
There's way more things to do downtown than Broadway, by the way. Like, if that's not your vibe, go to the Frist. You know what I mean? Like, there's some cultural opportunities.
Go get cultured. Go get a bite to eat. I don't know.
Right. If you want to get cultured, maybe Broadway's not the place for you, but there are some other places.
Yeah, I was trying to be like Austin, and I started a YouTube poll. So we'll see if that gets... We'll monitor the situation. We'll keep you guys updated. But 2
tickets. Damien's we clearly have not done a good job of explaining this.
I said a pair of tickets.
No, I know, but let's really clarify. 2 free tickets, free parking.
Okay. So you get free parking and then admit 2 on the boat. That's what it is.
That's right.
All right. 3 games. 3 games, 0 games. It's more likely that they have win 3 games. Eric says 3. Darren says likely 0. 3 games. Want to be positive, so 3 games. 0 games. Number 1 pick. More important. Not to them. To you, maybe. Not to them.
That's right.
More likely, definitely 0. Win 0. 0. Are you serious? Says Jack. 3 games. Cap says 0 games. I think this is saying
Saying
0
3
is-
games. Yeah, he thinks it's crazy that you'd think they'd win 0 games. I think is what Jack's saying.
Oh, I think it's the opposite. I think it's.
All right, Jack. Hey, clarify. Are you saying 3 is more likely or 0 is more likely? We can't tell.
Like 0. Are you serious, guys?
I
That
see
is
what you're
more
saying.
likely. 3 games crying, laughing emoji.
I think
as
you're right
in,
now
like,
that you say it. Yeah.
You're crazy to think that. Cap says 0 games for sure. Andre says, unfortunately, 3 is more likely. 0 unless they play the backup quarterback. I mean,
Unless the Titans play the backup quarterback? All
I
right,
guess. 0 because 3 is quite a stretch for this team. 3 more. 0. No wins. Once again, we ask, coming back up, returning from the dead. 3 games. They might win 1 more, says Edward.
I mean,
Nero
not how
says
this works.
4
though,
more
so.
wins.
Whoa!
So,
I
not
think the Titans are going
also,
to win out. They're going to be
also
9-8 to finish the year.
also not how that works, but fair enough. 3 seems more likely. I mean, let's pull up as the poll keeps going. Let's pull up the schedule, right? So here's what we're looking at. We have the Texans this week with Davis Mills, which we've already talked in length today about how that is potentially going to be a upset alert game for them. Seattle,
The buzzsaw to end all buzzsaws. Auto
Yeah,
L. Fair enough.
that's going to be tough. You get 2 games against Jacksonville, who just lost to the Davis Mills Texans in the fourth quarter, 26-point fashion. So I think you're crazy to not believe that the Titans could win. Couldn't win at least one of those games. You have the Dylan Gabriel Browns. I understand their defense is great, but it's still Dylan Gabriel. Like, let's not be crazy.
The Browns just lost to the New York Jets. What are we talking about?
San Francisco. So far, Texans is a winnable game. Jacksonville, I said both those, so I'll put it at like a half game, and we'll get back to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the end. So week 13 is a half winnable game. So there's 2. Cleveland's a winnable game. That's 2.5. San Francisco, probably not. Maybe a preview at your next head coach, maybe though. Kansas City,
Almost certainly not.
Saints, winnable.
Extremely.
So that's 3.5. And then Jacksonville again, another half, 4. So I think that is 4. Would you disagree with me that is 4
I think you're
winnable
right.
games left on the schedule here? Just looking at it on paper?
Yes. Yeah, if we're considering each Jacksonville game a half winnable game, then yes, I agree. I think they're
if you're considering that you could sweep them, that's
which
fine.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not, but it's yeah.
Titans have the ingredients to beat the Browns. Return TD, says Austin.
This is what I angrily yelled at Terry on Wednesday. He was like, because he pointed, I was like, they play the Browns still, Terry, and he's like, the Browns have the best defense, like one of the best defenses in the league, and I was like, Terry, they just lost to the Jets. He goes, yeah, because the Jets returned kicks for touchdowns. I said, Terry, the only good thing we've been talking about here for friggin' 2 months is that the Titans can return the ball. It's like the only thing that we all believe they can actually do. You don't think this team can return a touchdown?
All right, we got 53 votes on the poll. I'm ending it.
What?
No.
Okay.
It was up for 5 minutes, and we'll end it. It's got 54 votes. No game. It's more likely that the Titans win no games, won 65-35. So much like the earlier that I guesstimated 60. Maybe I was right on the money then. 65-35. It's the same here. I'm with you. I think it's more likely. Mostly because I'm also on team. I want to watch the world burn, and I want to see this team go 4-13 and have like the 7th overall pick, and people get mad that we wasted our opportunity to trade back and see what they do now, because nothing is guaranteed in life.
This is true.
Life is short by golf.
I obviously think 3 is more likely, and as I said when I kind of introed this, I think 3 is probably a stretch. I mean, more likely they win 1 or 2 more games, but my point is that I think that they'll kind of subvert expectations and win 1 more game than people are expecting them to.
Christopher also says they win 2 and tie 1, which also brings in the Wednesday discussion. If the Titans had 1 game that they could tie this week or the rest of the way, this game narratively and just spiritually feels like a tie.
Is that right?
In Nissan Stadium this week.
Well, I know one man who would be over
a 12-12 tie would be perfect.
12-12. Gross. 8 field goals?
Yes.
Okay.
with
Hate
whoever the Texans field goal
right.
kicker is.
That only works if they
To
get a
win-
backup kicker, which we're not clear on yet.
To tie at the buzzer at the end of overtime. Younghoe Koo or whoever they signed is out there hitting a 45-yarder to tie the game.
Michael Badgley.
Michael Badgley's kicking for the Colts right now, so.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. Forgot he's out there doing the thing. Obviously, I think 3 is the answer. My broader point to the media room that day, which I stand by, is that 3 might be a stretch, but 0 is crazy. This team is winning a game. Like, they're winning a game. There's just no way. I refuse to. I will not believe that they're going winless. They could lose the next 7 games, and on Sunday morning of Week 18, I still will believe that they're not going winless the rest of the
Because
stretch.
guess what they do on Week 18 every single year? Beat the Jaguars.
That's right.
They beat the Jaguars.
So going back to the research I did this morning, of the 11 teams that I dug up hurriedly, again, the 2020 Jaguars, the only team that did not win the rest of the way after starting 1-8. The 2023 Panthers, the 2016 49ers, and the 2014 Buccaneers were the only teams that won one more game. They all started 1-8 and finished 2-14 or 2-15. The 2022 Texans, the 2019 Washington Commanders, Redskins at the time, the 2017 Giants, they all won 3 games, so they won 2 more down the stretch. And the 23 Cardinals, the 21 Texans, the 2018 Raiders, and the 2013 Buccaneers all finished with 4 wins. They won 3 more games down the stretch. So, again, of these 11 teams, and I'm going to get a much bigger sample for this later today that I'm going to write about, and also include the teams that started 0-9. Of this sample of the last 11 teams to start their season 1-8, the plurality of them won 3 more games the rest of the year, got to 4 wins. And the vast majority of them, all but won at least 1 more game. The point is, bad teams. They start bad, and it all seems lost, and are truly miserable. And you may be sitting there saying, yeah, well, those teams weren't this Titans team. Brother, the Titans are just god-awful this year. There's no doubt about it. All these teams, most of them were also god-awful. Like, the Titans are not uniquely bad, I promise. Every year we have some truly horrendous football teams. This is not just a Titans thing. Get out of your echo chamber. So yeah, I think that they win 2 or 3 more games. I feel pretty good about that, to be honest with you, especially when I look at their schedule and see some real winnable games.
Yeah, I agree with you there, especially, I mean, things can also change in a hurry as well.
Now, will it be despite Mike McCoy? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. This is not going to be some big coaching turnaround, not even in the slightest. It will be because the offensive line continues to gel and play better, which they sneaky have been doing. The special teams are opportunistic. The defense is opportunistic where they can be. And the young players on this team continue to get more games under their belt and continue to get more competent. And you get to a certain competency with the young core of this team where you're going to find a way to win some games. You just are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is where we are. I mean, certainly. I'm of the belief that they can, and I also want them to.
One final question.
Okay.
Kind of looking ahead narratively. Because obviously if they win this weekend, it's going to be met with a ton of groaning. Like, oh, they're just ruining it. How many wins, or maybe what does it have to look like for the narrative to flip? For the majority of people to be like, you know what? Forget the draft. This team's actually like, you know what? We're going somewhere. Cam Ward, these young guys, this offensive line, like, I see hope for the future of the football team. You know what I mean? Because if they, hypothetically, not going to happen, if they won the next 3 games in a row, you know what I mean? Cam Ward is like playing good ball. I think the majority of the public would be like, you know what? Forget the draft. Like, let's win out. Let's see Cam Ward really finish the year excitingly and go into next year giving us some hope. But I don't know where that line is.
Yeah, I think it lies in 2 games that we didn't talk about. It lies in the Seahawks and the Chiefs game. If you look competent in those games, while also, once again, like, let's say you win 2 or 3 of those 4 winnable games, and you look competent against world beaters that the Seahawks and the potential Chiefs turnaround are shaping up to be. First of all, that's not happening.
Wrong.
They
could go 8-0 the rest of the year. Mike McCoy is not the coach. It's not happening.
I will picket line outside of Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park if that happens.
With you, but also I'm not even saying that I would like reject it personally. I am saying point blank. There is nothing on this earth that could happen to make Mike McCoy the long term. Like, they're not going to interview him, guys. They're not even giving him a courtesy interview. It's not happening.
So yes, I think you win two or three of those 4 winnable games, and you look competent against the dynasty, middle of a dynasty, end of a dynasty Chiefs team, and a ascending super hot Seattle team, along with some of those wins. I think that's enough for me to change the narrative a little bit. And I think it's enough because you always are looking towards the teams that you want to be like as fans, right? You want to be like the Seattle Seahawks and have this super awesome offense and things like that. You want to be like the Chiefs and be a perennial contender. And if you can at least look competent against them and not look like a super easy type of win for these teams, I think that gives some fans some confidence that you're going in the right direction.
Agreed. I think that just about sums it up. And with that, we will see how the Titans look against the Texans this weekend. And, if they get steamrolled, then we'll be back here adjusting the conversation on a Monday. Again, to be clear, like my belief in them winning 3 more of these games is not going to live or die with this game. Like, if they lose this game, I'm still going to think that because I don't expect them to win this game. I expect the Texans to win this game. But I do think it's winnable. I do think it's winnable for the Titans, and it would be, we know for Amy Adams-Strunk to be a big deal. That'd be good news for her. Let's get to some good news for everybody else as we enter the weekend. That's all we have left to do today. Go ahead, jump in the chat. Last chance, by the way, water taxi. Type the words water taxi in the chat to be submitted for the wheel spin that we're about to do. And go ahead and throw your good news in there as well. We'll talk about what we got going on good heading into the weekend. Shout out to Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process in Lebanon or online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. JT, I'll send you to the chat for any good news we have, or maybe we get to filibuster with our own good newses.
Yeah, you want to? I'll start doing good news if you want to get the wheel up.
Yes, let me go find the wheel. All right.
So I can start with that. The Bear 1655 says, "I will miss good news, so we'll drop mine now. I made sure to start. My good news is I start my new position in our corporate accounting office Monday. That
nice.
Is awesome.
Good for you.
Awesome to see that. Let's see what other. Once again, is this Shang? Is this Sean G?
Shang?
I think it's Sean G, probably.
Probably.
Missed a few good news Fridays. One, finished my vacation 2 weeks ago and have another one next week. Wow.
Bro, what?
2, wife got a promotion. Super proud. Congrats.
Oh, that's how they're getting the vacations.
Wow. The parts for my imported Toyota MR2 Spied come in today. If I was a car guy, I would probably know what that is. But
I'm going to look that up. Toyota MR2 Spied.
Yeah. Tall Texan says, good news. Texas beats Georgia tomorrow. Not as bad as they hammered Vandy, though, which can you call that a hammering? I'm not sure. Jack says, I have no good news. It ain't that bad news because ESPN took the Vols from me and the Titans were taken by Fox. Well, JR says, good news. I'm golfing in 75-degree weather tomorrow. Bork says,
I have never seen this car in my life. I did not know Toyota made a car like this.
I have no idea.
It's kind of like imagine like the Nissan, what is it, like the Nissan ZR, you know that car?
Yes.
The sporty looking Nissan. It's kind of like that,
Gotcha.
But Toyota.
Bork says, heading up to Nashville this weekend to take the oldest to Beauty and the Beast at T-Pack.
I'm going too. I'll be there tomorrow.
My girlfriend went last night. She said she really liked it, except there was a continuity error with one of the with a prop or something in the show that she had.
No.
She called me last night after the show and said, I can't believe they did this. And I said okay.
She should have submitted a formal complaint.
Yeah, but I heard otherwise it was a very good show. So you can also give your review there. Camry Coleman says, water taxi. Also, my good news is I got cheap end zone tickets for a potential first home win.
Nice.
There you go. Super exciting.
Yeah, you can get into the game this weekend for real affordable. I think they might be accepting food stamps, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't know. The shutdown's over, so I think that's now back on.
Yeah, good news. Trevion Henderson got me 3 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row on my fantasy football team. Very good.
Huge.
Happy for you.
You know he's been suffering as a Trevion owner.
Yes.
For weeks. He's just been pulling his hair out.
Jack says he's still the resident scribe, so that's always good news.
Indeed.
There. And then Daniel says the rain has finally stopped down here and the sun is out. So
And weather report from the Caribbean. Very cool.
very nice. Good news. Do you have good
how
news?
many submissions do we have for the water taxi?
Oh yeah, I can look here.
Not the EBT Titans tickets. Yes, the EBT Titans tickets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries.
Okay.
That's it.
1 in 6 odds are pretty good odds right there.
First of all, if anybody's started the show and said they wanted the tickets and did not put water taxi until after we said the official rules, you got to put it in again. Don't think you're automatically put in. Also, yesterday, if you entered, you're not still automatically entered today. We'll give it.
That's right.
We'll give it
until we're done
30
with our good news. Do you have good
We'll
news?
give it 30 seconds. Water taxi, water taxi, water taxi. My good news is that I am going. I'm just thinking on the fly. I'm gonna make chili from scratch today.
Ooh, a lovely fall delicacy.
Yes.
My good news. What is my good news? Seeing Beauty and the Beast this weekend. Have
There you
watched
go.
some good movies and shows this week. I watched
Is
Guillermo
your
del
good-
Toro's Frankenstein on
you go.
Netflix. Good, enjoyable time. If you enjoy the novel, the actual Mary Shelley novel, then you'll love this version of it because it is easily the most true to the source material version of Frankenstein that Hollywood has ever made. It's not the like flathead bolts in the neck monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's the real tragic story of Frankenstein's monster, which is obviously one of the best stories ever told. I have no other good news besides that, I don't think.
Your good news is that you don't have to be at this Titans Texans game in person. You get to be on the morning. You get to be on the game day show. So
right.
it's exciting.
Because you and Buck are going to be there amongst the people.
Potentially.
right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's still happening. So we'll.
Everyone
That should be
knows
exciting.
Andrew Rising, man of the people.
All right.
Okay. By the way, Cameron Coleman submitted twice, I think, just to make sure that he got in. We got you, so I'll take his double
Oh,
out of there.
my bad. Yeah, true.
No, it's fine. That
That's
was
my bad.
sneaky on his part to.
So now there are 1, 2,
double up.
3. Okay, so there's still 6. There's
All right,
still 6.
I'm submitting the name. There's so few of them that, frankly, I'm going to put their names in. All right, let me share my screen. Now that I have the wheel ready to roll.
There you go. All right.
Shared screen. Let's get an appropriate overlay for us here, if we can.
Sure. Like, what do you want?
This
Okay.
works.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like it's trivia. All right, here we go. Spinning the wheel. And our winner is... Johnny!
Johnny.
Good old Johnny FNC 8028. You have won 2 free tickets on the Nashville Water Taxi.
Here's the thing. He's on YouTube, so it's harder. So Johnny has to reach out to us via Facebook, via something. You got to do it. So let's do a backup.
Twitter account.
Let's back up just in case.
If Johnny's still here,
Yeah, is Johnny still here?
say something, Johnny. Confirm that you are taking these tickets. Please.
Instagram, Twitter, DM, Facebook, something. Confirm you are still here.
Messenger pigeon. All right, if we don't get confirmation, I might have to spin again here.
I think we have to spin again as a
Let's
backup.
get a backup just in case. Sorry to whoever this is, because you're probably not the winner. But Katie, we will, if we don't.
Katie Maurice Clemens is the backup. So if we do not hear from, and she's on Facebook already, so she has a
Okay.
leg up here, so that we can. Oh, Johnny's here. Sweet.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
Johnny
here.
wins.
Okay.
Sorry, Katie. Never mind.
Sorry, Katie. Womp womp. My
Johnny,
bad.
reach out to us. We'll be looking on all our DMs on all our social medias. So just whatever is your flavor.
Yep. Just
Congratulations.
reach out. All
Have
right.
a lovely time. All right, that's our show. It'll be me and Austin on the game day show on Sunday, pregame, halftime, postgame. JT and Buck with some fun content from the game, perhaps even in an upset. We'll have to see. Maybe the Titans will give us something interesting to talk about. Until then, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your Saturday. We'll talk to you all on Sunday.